Welcome back to Unfold Data Science, friends. This is Aman here, and I'm a data scientist. So, I'll walk you through what are the main steps in a time series forecasting model that you need to follow. So, as you can see on your screen, obviously, we will first import the data, then go into cleaning the data, then we need to necessarily do the stationarity check. I have created a separate video on how to do stationarity check. Then we will go on model training, prediction, and tuning. These are the steps at high level that you need to follow when you build any time series forecasting model. We will walk through all these steps one by one. Okay. So first thing is we need a data, right? So I'm taking a data from Kaggle. This is the link, guys, from the Kaggle. This is climate change Earth surface data. So this is a temperature data for various cities. Okay, you can download it from the Kaggle. This link here, you can download it. Now what this data will give you is different temperatures, as you can see here, on different months, actually for different cities, temperature, average temperature on that particular day. Okay, so this becomes a time series data. Now I will take this time series data and I will try to build some model. Before that, I need to do some pre-processing, right? So let me run this step and you will be able to see first 30 records of that data that was printing before, right? As you can see, this 30 records are printing. Now what I will do is I will just separate the one country data, let's say Denmark data. Okay, and I will do some basic data cleaning, guys. So as you can see here, I'm saying temp data is equal to temp data dot drop na. What is my temp data? Temperature data, this data. Okay, so I'm dropping na here, means all the rows having na and these things will get dropped. Then I'm separating the Denmark data. I'm saying where country is equal to Denmark. In this Denmark data, I'm making index as DT column, the date column in the data. So as you can see, this is the date column in the data. In all the time series model, what we need is an index so that it's easier to plot, it's easier to keep a track of what are our values, right? So I'm making DT, the first column of the data, as the index of my time series. Okay, so here that's what I'm saying. Df underscore Denmark dot index is equal to first column of the data. After that, I do not need all the columns of the data. I just need, I'm dropping these columns because I'll not need those columns. Okay. So now my df underscore Denmark is a time series data with one column, that is average temperature. Okay. So average temperature is the one column. This is the data, and then we have the index, of course. Now, what is the range of the time series, guys? As you can see, there are 12,664 records. Mean comes somewhere around 7.8 or 8. Standard deviation 6.64. Minimum temperature is minus 7.8. Maximum temperature is 21.43, and other percentiles are given. So this is our time series on which we will try to predict, we will try to train a model. Okay, so I'm just creating a new variable calling that ts. Ts stands for time series. Time series is equal to df Denmark average temperature. That's all. This is my time series data with index. And here, as you can see, I have plotted that time series. Now this is important, guys. Look at this plot. On x-axis we have the time frame from 70s to 2000, different years, different months. That's where we have 12,000 entries in the data, right? And then you can see different temperatures, right? Different temperatures on different months. So how this data is looking like, guys? Do you see any seasonality here? Do you see any trend here? Well, this data does not give any trend or seasonal component as such. But how we will know that? How we will know that data is stationary? So that is what we need to check after data cleaning and some EDA. That is the first step in time series analysis. You need to necessarily check whether your data is a stationary data. How to do that? A very simple Dickey-Fuller test. So I am doing here augmented Dickey-Fuller test. What is a Dickey-Fuller test? ADF test. Null hypothesis is your data is non-stationary. If p-value is less than 5%, you reject the null hypothesis. Okay, so I'm running a Fuller test on my data and I'm getting some output here. As you can see, Fuller test minus 14.66. P-value is very less, 2.37 and 27 zeros. Minus 27 means 27 zeros before 2. Okay, that means that our p-value is very less than 5%. Hence we reject the null hypothesis and except the alternate hypothesis. What will be the alternate hypothesis? The series is stationary. Okay, so from the chart also, if you can see, the series does not look to have a trend or seasonal component. That is clear. Now this data is stationary, so we can directly train a time series model on this. Let us start with a basic ARMA model here, ARMA model. So this is my first model. Okay, I am writing here first model. New model is equal to ARMA time series order 1 1. Results is equal to new model dot fit. Okay, and then I'm predicting for this range. What range? I'm predicting from January 1990 to January 1991. Okay, so I'm training the model and predicting in this block for that range. Okay, and I'm also keeping the actual values aside. If you see DF Denmark, that same range average temperature, I'm keeping it aside. Okay, this is for accuracy check. Okay, so let us see. This is actuals, guys. Now how do you see if you have predictions and if you have actuals? I'm just seeing minimum absolute error, mean absolute error, so error, sorry, mean absolute error here. And if you can see, the mean absolute error value is 1.81 in this case. Okay, now one thing to notice here, guys, if you see the order of ARMA, ARMA, I'm giving 1 1. Okay, I do not know what is the best AR and best MA for my data. I'm just starting as a starting point, I'm starting at 1 1. Okay, which means AR of degree 1 and MA of degree 1. Okay, with that number, I have trained my model, I have done the prediction, and I'm getting a MAE of 1.81. Now comes the model tuning, guys. If we want to, this is a very simple model now. If we want to tune the model, how we can tune the model, right? So this 1 1 can be changed. This is the first thing we can think of, right? Maybe a different order of AR and MA will work better for this case, right? So let us try in a loop running different ARMA models. So here what I am doing is I am importing iter tools. I am just creating a range of 0 to 4, which means 0, 1, 2, 3. And I will run the ARMA model for different combinations in a loop. Okay, so one ARMA model will run for 0 0, other will run for 0 1. I will not run this block. This will take some 2-3 minutes of time. Hence, I had run this before and I'm showing you this. I'll anyway upload this file. Okay, so ARMA 0 0 you will have a score, AIC score. ARMA 0 1 you will have a AIC score. Similarly, for different combinations of AR and MA, you will have different AIC score. AIC is nothing but Akaike information criteria. Whichever combination gives lowest AIC, that combination is the best model in your case. So here, if you can see, the combination AIC list is coming somewhere here at ARMA 33. Okay. Now what I will do is this particular model, ARMA 33 model, is stored in results. Okay, in that loop. So I'm making prediction using that result now. One more prediction. Okay, and on with that prediction, I will compare my actuals. Right. So with that prediction, if I compare my actuals, you will see that there will be a decrease in the MAE value. What was the MAE value before? 1.81271. So this is results variable. Am I doing it right here? Prediction is equal to result dot predict. Results, predictions, actuals. Correct. Maybe I need to rerun this model, guys, because I have rerun the script from the beginning. Let's rerun this part because that variable has been overwritten, results variable. So let's wait for 1 minute or so. Let's see if this model completes. And then you will see that the best model for ARMA 33 will give you a better MAE. MAE means your error of the model. So prediction is done. 33 is also done actually. And if you can see, the MAE is dropping, guys, 1.49. Previously, what was the MAE? 1.81 in the previous case, right? So our intention here is to drop it further. As I told you, either use a different model or some other hyperparameter tuning techniques. I'll come up with all those things in my next video. I'll upload this notebook. If you have any doubts, write me in comment. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, stay safe and take care.